Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Harihi Om.
That which we call the outer world is perfect. This which we call the inner world is perfect. Each one filled with divine consciousness. Perfect comes from perfect. Take perfect from perfect. The remainder is perfect. Divine consciousness is non-dual. Anything that emerges from the divine consciousness is whole, is complete, is Purna. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Namaste.
Yeah. So today we have our guest here, Swati Sharma, and she calls herself an accidental therapist. And rightfully so, because she had a successful career as a journalist. She was a writer for Dainik Jagran, MP Chronicle, and many magazines. Then she became then she became a painter, which was her childhood passion. She held exhibition nationally and internationally. Then eventually she was stung by past life therapy. Did her training under Dr. Tripti Jain. She also learned numerology from Dr. Jain. And our beloved, our senior host today is our very own Dr. Tripti Jain. She's a clinical psychologist. She's a pioneer in a field of past life therapy. As a therapist, she had participated and changed many lives in the TV reality show called Ras Pir Se Janam Ka. And it opened awareness in another dimension of healing for a lot of viewers. She is also trained in spiritual numerology, NLP, EMDR, dream analysis, art and movement therapy, and has presented papers and research work in PLR and EMDR. So today, over to Dr. Trupti Jain.
Thank you, Punam, and welcome, Swati. It's
You're
wonderful
welcome.
to have
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for inviting.
Absolutely. I had to invite you. We have a long history, and you are my student, not only my student, but we talk a lot on the phone also on other things. So, yes,
Yeah.
Punam, thank you today for anchoring the program. So let's begin and ask Swati about her fascinating journey. I mean,
Yes.
journalism and painting. So, I mean, you must be an artist, right? You must have been trained in art.
No, ma'am. I'm not trained in art.
You're not a trained
Actually,
artist.
the academic qualification that I have, I'm a linguistic expert. I have done MA in English language and with the expertise in phonetics. And post that I have done a diploma in journalism. So there was no, you can say, nothing to do with the art. I was not an artist. I was a very quiet child, and nothing to do with the anything, you can say, other than studies. So I
Okay.
studied and studied and studied, but later on things kept happening to me. So as I am become an accidental healer, I am an accidental artist
Artist.
also.
But
So
my
that
dear,
that
art is
I
something that, people say that you have to have that flair of art. So you must have had a flair for art, right?
Ma'am, I think that is also, you can say, something that came from my past lives,
Okay.
maybe, because it happened that somebody came to my home and um forgot their canvas, and few brushes and colors were there. So she bought it for her brother's marriage. So that was a horse painting that she was to paint for the bride and groom to be gifted, and she left it at my home. And then she falls sick and she couldn't come back to take it from my home. And I, all the time, I kept roaming around and I saw the canvases. They used to attract me. And one day I just opened that canvas, opened the colors palette, and then I took the brush, but then I felt that brush is not for me.
Hmm.
Then I went to the market and bought a set of knives, for painting knives
Okay.
for myself. And I started painting. As I think I made 10 odd paintings on paper and canvas. It all were done intuitively. And so I thought I will be gifting it to the people. I'll be enjoying the process. I was so engrossed doing that. But then people started liking it so much, and one of the dealers said, "But ma'am, why don't you do the exhibition, because these are the serious artworks, and it cannot be sold like 1,000 rupees, or it should be go in lakhs." And I said, eh? Oh, because this is what I have no knowledge and nothing. And I have done the exhibition at Jawahar Kala Kendra. I applied for
Hmm.
the Jawahar Kala Kendra, and they said that you should be doing 40 paintings at least are required, because it's a huge hall
Correct.
for the,
Hmm.
and many art lovers. It's a serious art hub,
Ah,
Jawahar Kala Kendra in Jaipur. So I just applied and I said, okay, I'll make 40 paintings. And I made 40 paintings and all had, and when I exhibited it, everybody has written, these are spiritually motivated paintings, and these are so colorful. मतलब मेरे जो लोग आते थे visitors, they have written the same thing. Everybody has written almost similar thing in their you can say feedback
yeah.
to my painting. Then from there the journey start, and I think I have done 20 exhibition uh, in 3 4 years, and
Oh,
in which I have done 5 to 6 solo exhibitions.
wow.
And
Wow.
all paint on my paintings were sold up to 3 lakh rupees. And
Wow.
that was a surprise. I don't know how I made, and later on I have developed a lot of spiritualism, and I've incorporated many things into that, and became a artist who does the painting on color therapy as well as the sacred geometry, the Indian sacred geometry that we have. And it was
Uh-huh.
also liked by many. When I had the exhibition at Taj Delhi, and it was sold. People liked the painting so much, and it was sold so fast that I had to replace my paintings in the exhibition gallery.
Wow.
So, so that was it.
So it's just an inborn talent.
I don't know where it came
Has
from,
to be inborn, definitely. It comes from some past life that
but I have
just
never
that is
been
an
to any
artist.
class. Never been to any class.
I think
Learn
that's why
nothing.
they say that art is something that can't be taught. I mean, it
Yeah,
can be definitely cultivated, but
yeah,
it cannot be taught. And you are proof to that, Swati.
yeah.
And wow, fantastic.
Painting for me is a play of color. As I pick up the knife for painting, the colors,
the cultural richness of Indian spiritualism, and innocence of folk culture inspires me the most. The focus always remains on the aesthetic and artistic enriched culture of India. The vibrancy of Indian colors are truly my passion. I feel honored to see my painting liked by all. The art galleries and art collector accepted me with open heart. It is humbling to see my paintings adorning the corporate offices and hotel groups.
So now, art and then journalism. And did you continue writing, or you then completely devoted to art?
When I started painting, the writing took
Vaccine.
backseat, backseat because there was no time for that. And one day I was painting at 9 o'clock. I started painting. It was a huge canvas, 6 by 6,
Hmm.
and knife takes a lot of effort. It's a manual task that's hard work. So I started at 9 o'clock, and 6 o'clock in the evening, my maid came and she said, "Ma'am, you have not taken your tea, or the food is also there." So I said, "Okay, अभी तो रखा है तूने, गरम होगा." तो she said, "मैम शाम हो गई है, मैं शाम को आ गई हूँ दोबारा." So that was the, I lost the time, and not, there was
Yeah.
no, I enjoyed the process so much.
So I think it was very easy for you to enter the state of, let's say hypnosis or become a
Yeah.
past life therapist because you were anyway losing track of time and space.
Yeah,
And she also had the imagination
And she also
there.
had the imagination. So I think it worked really well for you.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
how did
yeah.
you think of past life therapy?
Past life therapy, ma'am, it all because of you, and nothing. It was never a pre-thought that I'll be learning, or I'll be doing a healing, or I'll be doing things. But you'd say I was spiritual since my childhood. But when I got married, things became different. It was a fairy tale marriage
Hmm.
that did not go too well.
Hmm.
And since the day I got married, there was lot many things started happening in my life. That was, I was falling too many times. I was falling sick. There was too many accidents that was happening. There was too many, you can say, frictions from the people that started in, from my in-laws. I had a long list of frictions with them,
Hmm.
and there was ill treatment and invalidation that happens to so many people.
Hmm.
But at, beneath this, I was feeling there is something more to this. These are not just whatever we are seeing on the surface. It is not like this. It is more deeper, or deeper meanings to it. And I was confused. There was no answers. I was searching for the answers, but um, there was then I started getting visions, and I was intuitive from the beginning, but then I started getting visions of different things, and I was thinking that I'm losing my mind.
Hmm.
Then I took to the spiritualism, m- much, you can say, deeply, because I thought this is maybe the, you can say, escape.
Hmm.
So I took the Sri Vidya initiation, and this is done by Shankaracharya ji.
Hmm.
I started enjoying it, and it was a beautiful time because it gave me a lot of stabilization in my life. But my mind and my consciousness was still saying there is something that needed to be answered. There's something more, and I was getting more and more confused in my life.
Hmm.
So much so that because of the Sri Vidya and spiritualism, I my Kundalini became
Jagriti.
activated,
Hmm.
Okay.
and उसमें ग्रंथि opening होती है. From that,
Uh,
you lose the, you start having more connection with the spirit world.
yeah.
So I started seeing spirits more. I could talk to the people from the other world, And people around me started saying that okay, you are having schizophrenia. You are
Oh,
because of the friction from the in-laws, you are getting psychologically ill.
Yeah.
Even people who were the closest to me used to say only two things: you are very intuitive, or otherwise they say you are very you are belong to a different world. You
mm,
don't look normal to us.
mm,
So I was getting more desperate, but
mm,
astrologers didn't have the answer. The psychologist, all they said, okay, you are you look completely fine to us. There is nothing like that. So
mm,
I took to one psychiatric, then second, and I was searching for the answer. But what happened in 2014? There was something happened in my life that I happened to call you. I searched desperately in my, you can say, uh, website, that who can answer me this. Like I was looking for the person who can give an full stop to this question. Because what happened, my dog died, and the day my dog died, I was like getting hysterical. I was crying, and the crying was not stopping, and I was tears rolling all the time.
mm,
And I could not understand what is the connection that I had with that dog,
mm.
that मेरा रोना ही नहीं रुक रहा है, and I cannot be consoled.
Okay.
And मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि everything is just lost,
Mm,
everything is gone from my life. डेस्परेटली आई सर्च इन द वेबसाइट, और मुझे तभी राज पिछले जन्म का और आपकी वेबसाइट मिली. और मुझे याद है जब मैंने आपको कॉल किया, आई वाज इन सच एन हाइपर स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, और इतना ज़्यादा मेरी आवाज़ भी कांप रही थी. आई डिडंट नो व्हाट टू से, एंड यू सेड काम डाउन एंड यू कम टू मुंबई वेन एवर यू कम.
mm,
एंड मेरे पास सब्र नहीं था. तो आई टुक द फ्लाइट एंड आई came back to you, and I needed the answers. Only thing was that I need the answer. And we did the PLR session, and it was wonderful. I must say that session has, you can say, like the I have seen the sunshine after so many years. I think 15 16 years post my marriage. Maybe that was a foggy year, cloudy years of my life, and then I have seen this sunshine. All the answers were quite clear. I knew that most of the relationship that I was having problem was actually the karmic relations.
mm,
And I was understanding that the events that was happening was all having connections with my past lives. Even the siddhis, or even the painting that I have
mm,
started doing, and the intuitiveness that came from the learnings that I have did in my past life.
Mm.
But their journey was still difficult, because
Would you like to
in
share that experience, the
Mm.
past life
Yeah.
experience with everybody?
ma'am, in that past life, before that I was having this same kind of visions, where
Correct.
I saw that a person was doing the puja
Mm,
at some beside the river.
mm,
एंड जब भी मंदिर में घंटी बजती थी
mm,
आरती की, आई यूज टू गेट लाइक मुझे कुछ हो रहा है जैसा, कुछ मुझे ऐसा लगता था देयर इज समथिंग दैट इज हैपनिंग विद इन माय बॉडी.
mm,
I could not understand. But
mm,
then I started having visions कि मुझे एक आदमी दिखता था who is doing the puja beside the ghat of some river, and then
Mm.
somebody came from the behind and उसको त्रिशूल गड़ा करके और मार दिया, and the
mm,
person died in the river by drowning.
mm,
So this is something that I always used to get the same thing I saw in the past life therapy that I did. And लेकिन ये सीन के पहले के पूरे सीन भी उसमें मुझे दिखाई दिए कि why this happened, who was the person
mm,
that was me, and who was the person that killed me,
mm,
and what was the reason for the killing.
mm,
And this was like, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि I am, because I am a journalist and I write
mm,
quite a lot,
mm.
I'm writing this script.
Correct.
I'm imagining this is not happening.
Mm,
You know, whoever does go to the past life, दे हैव द सेम फीलिंग कि हम लोग कुछ नहीं, मतलब दिस इज नॉट द रियलिटी, हम लोग ड्रीम कर रहे हैं, हम लोग इमेजिन कर रहे हैं, ये
Yeah.
हमने सोच लिया ऐसा, या हमने किसी फिल्म में देखा था।
Correct.
तो मेरे पास भी सारे यही स्पेक्यूलेशंस थे।
Hmm.
आई केम होम सेटिस्फाइड, एंड वो दूसरा कीड़ा लेकर आ गई थी मैं घर में कि
Hmm.
ये क्या है,
Hmm.
व्हाट इज दिस, ऐसे कैसे हम इतनी आसानी से पास्ट लाइफ में चले गए, और हाउ कैन आई गेट सच क्लियर व्यूज। और फिर आकर मैंने गूगल किया, और मैंने देखा कि जो नेम्स आई हैव स्पोकन
Hmm.
और द ईयर्स आई हैव स्पोकन, तो जिस जगह पर मैंने रिवर बताई, आई सॉ टू लाइव्स, तो
Hmm.
जिस जगह पे मैंने रिवर देखी थी, उस जगह का जो नाम मैंने बोला था, द रिवर इज एट दैट प्लेस ओनली। जहां मैंने हिल साइड बोला था, वो
हाँ.
बिल्कुल हिल साइड की ही जगह है। एंड आई हैव नो कनेक्शन, आई हैव नेवर गॉन टू यूपी,
Okay.
एंड दोज टू प्लेसेस आर इन यूपी। तो मुझे लगा कि शायद मैंने ना किसी जगह कभी
सुना
एडवर्टाइजमेंट
होगा.
में
हाँ.
या कभी कहीं सुने होंगे ये नाम, तो
हाँ.
मैंने ये कर दिया। फ्रॉम देयर द क्यूरियोसिटी बिगेन कि क्या करना है इसके बारे में। तो वो आपसे कनेक्शन जुड़ा रहा, देन आई स्टार्टेड लर्निंग पीएलआर। और जब मैंने दूसरों के ऊपर पीएलआर करना शुरू किया, तो मुझे पता चला कि नहीं, these are not imaginations, these are not thing, these are our subconscious memories,
Hmm.
and we know these things because we have lived it। एंड इतना डिटेल हमको इसलिए पता है कि हमारी लाइफ का वो हिस्सा है, पिछली
पिछले
पास्ट लाइफ
जन्म का वो
में
हिस्सा है.
वी
हाँ.
हैव लिव्ड दिस।
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started learning
This is very
PLR.
important, I think, for everybody to understand that the past life memory comes like a imagination.
Hmm.
कल्पना जैसी वो मेमोरी ऊपर आती है.
Yeah,
मोस्ट आई थिंक 100% ऑफ पीपल, जब हम सेशन के बाद, आफ्टर द सेशन, व्हेन वी आस्क द क्लाइंट that before the session could you have thought about the story, everybody says no, never.
Hmm.
So the thing
मैं
is that
मैंने तो
obviously that
आई हैव अ कन्फेशन टू मेक।
हाँ.
मैंने
हाँ.
प्लान किया था कि मैं ना अपने आप को बहुत अच्छा किसी जगह पे क्वीन एंड समथिंग, आई गिव माई सेल्फ अ ब्यूटिफुल, बिकॉज आई एम अ वेरी इमेजिनेटिव पर्सन, एंड आई कैन नॉट गो इन टू ट्रांस, समबडी कैन नॉट डायरेक्ट मी।
Correct.
और आई वॉज वेरी, मतलब क्रिटिकल
Yeah.
व्हेन आई रीच्ड यू,
हाँ.
कि ऐसा तो कुछ हो नहीं सकेगा मेरे साथ, आई विल नॉट बी हिप्नोटाइज्ड, और
हाँ.
मैं बिल्कुल अपनी स्टोरी बनाऊंगी, और जिनको भी मुझे बताना है, कि जिनको भी मुझे लाइफ में जवाब देना है, मैं उनको ब्लैक पेंट कर दूंगी, मैं अपने
Correct.
आप को बहुत ब्यूटीफुल। आई हैड इल प्लान्स, आई मस्ट
Okay.
हैव
You had ill
बट
plans.
And
व्हेन
she
आई
went all the way to Bombay for that.
For the ill plans.
For the plan.
yeah,
हाँ.
but when I started and
हाँ.
when started giving me the instruction, I was trying to think of myself as a queen, but I was a male, and
हाँ.
I was starving, and I was in a hillside, and I had nothing to wear, and I was in a, you can say, poor state, and I was
Correct.
thinking, Swati, give yourself a beautiful clothes and become a woman. The other women came, she was beautiful, she was, and I was still starving, man, that kind of thing happening. So there is nothing we can control during the PLR session,
Correct.
and that's why I started believing that these are real memories.
Mm.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think important, like we all know, of course, that when that memory starts to come up, because we are not asleep,
Yeah,
yeah, because we are not asleep, we have a feeling as if we are creating it.
Yeah.
Most people, or many people rather, when they speak about, let's say, hypnosis or trance state, have the idea that they will either go to sleep or they will not be conscious. And
Hmm.
this is what we always tell clients, that you're going to be conscious, you're not going to be sleeping. If
Hmm.
you go to sleep, then obviously that particular memory you cannot experience. So
Yeah.
I think that state of trance,
Uh,
the people need to understand the state of trance.
yeah.
That's very important.
yeah.
Okay.
But I was,
That is why we tell them.
whatever I was seeing, ma'am, I have never done those kind of things in my life.
Yeah, you're a nice,
Yeah.
lovely person. Why don't
Yeah,
you do
so
something
that was
like
a
that?
beyond my imagination even. You can think only what you have lived. You can
Absolutely.
taste only what you have eaten.
Yes.
But you cannot think about a different scenario altogether. But there, everything different was happening in my life. I was a warrior. I was a, you can say, starving peasant, and I was a pujari. I was having different roles that I have never thought of having in this
Correct,
life.
absolutely. And then you came for the training.
I
Yeah.
came to the retreat because I thought enough of the paintings are sold, uh, getting sold out very easily. I had a lot of money because
Uh-huh.
my husband was not taking the money from me.
Good manies.
Yeah, so I was having a lot of money, so I said, "No, okay, let's." It
Spent
was
some.
also a kind of, you can say, trip that I planned,
Uh,
because a year before I went to Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. It was a fabulous experience. So I said, okay, Rishikesh is one place I have not gone, so
uh,
let's go, because the curiosity is quite high. And I was, you can say, greatly in love with you and the way you treat people. So I went there just for the sake of some learning, not the actual PLR learning.
mm,
The 7 days of my life, I tell you, these are the most beautiful days of my life. Most beautiful. This is such a wonderful experience that you can say I can go every year for the same, because the energy and the people that have come,
yeah.
and they all have similar stories, then you feel you are not the someone
Okay.
who is
Yeah.
different.
You are not actually schizophrenic.
Yeah, that you
You are
confirmed,
normal,
that
but having these visions or having.
that you confirmed already, ma'am. When I came to the PLR, my first question was, find out if because you are a clinical psychologist, tell me whether I am mentally sick or these things are something more
Yeah,
than psychology. He said nothing. You don't have any psychological issue, and that was a greatest
relief,
possible relief for me.
big relief to
Yeah.
And I think in Rishikesh, it was a complete change of my life. The 7 days, this kind of serenity, kind of depth I felt in my life, and so many past life experiences that we shared, and the exercises that we did. And it was a fun learning. I think no schooling, no learning can be so um, enjoy
you're
joyful.
learning, but you're enjoying, you're meeting people,
Yeah,
you're
but
meeting
it is not even joy,
like-minded
ma'am.
souls.
It is bliss, because at the end of the seventh day, I think every one of us was crying that we don't want to go home. It is like this period should uh, prolong, and we should enjoy this life. It was such a wonderful experience.
Yeah,
And
this
Absolutely.
I,
happens with a lot of us actually. After the retreat, we are so touched by our soul journey, suddenly a revelation of another world,
yeah, you
which
know
we,
your life
yes,
purpose, and you make such wonderful friends. I
yes.
think it's
Yes.
a cherishable thing.
And also, Swati, I feel कि otherwise normally जो हम learn करते हैं ना, it's at a different level. But
Mm.
this has a different depth of learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it touches another part of us, our spiritual part, that connects in a different way and blooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, Swati and Poonam, the best part of past life training or past life work is that you don't have to mug up anything.
Correct.
Okay, it is an experience, so
Yeah.
you are experiencing something,
Yeah.
somebody else is experiencing something, and
Hmm.
the experiential learning that takes
Hmm.
place,
Hmm.
I don't think any of you actually go through the booklet that's been given more than once, because
Hmm.
the whole experience
Yeah.
itself is your learning.
Correct.
And even
Correct.
when you start doing sessions, you do them, and if you forget something like a certain question or something, it comes from your experience. You
Yes.
don't have to open a book and say, okay, what have I missed? So I think the learning of such spiritual work is so powerful because it comes from within.
Yeah.
I think that's the most beautiful part of past life
I
therapy.
think somewhere the universe already have that pattern in us,
Yes, absolutely.
and it just gets surfaced when we touch upon these things.
Yeah, it
And
just
it's like going
triggers.
home. It's like going home.
Going home. Yes, absolutely. It's like going home.
And the best thing is the like a you can say expert shepherd. You move all of us because we want to. Sometimes we become so lazy, and you are such a, you can say, strict teacher. You keep motivating. We are sleeping 11 o'clock in the evening. We are feeling sleepy, and ma'am is active. Let's do one chapter more. Let's do it again, and we see how from where she's getting all this energy, and she's so motivated and so you can say inspired to teach all of us.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it
Yeah,
completely.
I think when you have the best of students coming from all over the world, you are anyway inspired. So I always thank all those people who come to the retreat, because first of all, there's immense trust and there's immense faith and there's so much of love that everybody showers on you that you can't not help feeling, energized every day. So I think the motivation comes from the students.
Yeah.
But yes, Swati. So after the training, how did your journey begin as a therapist?
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ